Is there any reality here? The sky that the clouds float in. What's that? It's invisible. How many of you have truly, truly seen the sky? Or do you look up there and see a form of blue? Or do you see a form of gray? Or do you see some color up there? How many of you truly see the sky? Because you see, the same sky that's up there is the same sky that's present here. Where my hand is, and down where my feet are looking up, this level here is sky. And it doesn't have to be 20,000 miles up there before it's sky. It's just got to be higher than you. And how do you get up there? By lifting your attitude. Can you ever fathom the sky? Good luck. Yes, you can one way. You can just say, I fathom the sky. That's an easy thing to say. But is there any real type of reality other than just that thought speaking that? Hardly. Except one thing. That is invisible in us is present out here in all things. It's the invisible sky that's present up there is the invisible sky. So truly you're connected to it all. Fathom yourself and you fathom the sky. Fathom your thoughts and you fathom the cloud. Believe me, how many shapes can a cloud take? Do we have any idea? Among the shapes, it can also be thicker and thinner, and smoother and coarser. And so all these other things start to come in until you say, the clouds got in my way. I couldn't do it. My thoughts are in my way. I keep thinking the same thing over and over. Well, that's a lie. You say you keep thinking this thing over and over, but you don't. You've got a lot of other thoughts going on in the meantime that you won't tell us about, because as soon as you do, these aren't in your way. And so we play the game of not being complete. We play the game of not being entirely present. We play the game. The game is real, because it is game, and it has infinite rules called the ungame game. Some people play it really serious, and others play it very lilting, and others play it find the devil and beat him up, and others play it rip off the customers at the gas pumps, and others play it get more money for your salad, and others play it I love you till I get what I want, and as soon as I got it, I don't. So it's a game of ungameness. And then we run our game of morality against somebody who's playing the other ungame, and we make their ungame wrong, and they're looking at our ungame saying, what are you playing? Well, I'm playing the right and truthful game. That's what I'm playing. And it's called be real serious and be real responsible. Except what? In our society, we have to be responsible to maintain the standards that we have set. And I don't know if it's all that good anyway. I mean, I'm really sitting looking at what is standard. Like, what is the crowd? What is the thought? What is the cloud? What is the sky? You know, what is that? You know what I come up with? I don't know. So I just live in the sky. And when these things come along, I say, there's that, then there's that, then there's that. And sometimes those clouds are black and rainy. I say, that's a cloud that's black and rainy. Other people look at it and they say, oh, I'm so depressed. I say, well, no, it's just a black, rainy cloud. And other people look at the black, rainy cloud and they say, it's watering the vegetables and the fruit trees. Wow, I'm so glad that it's raining today. And somebody else will say, oh, it's raining today. It's just really terrible. I'm so depressed with that. Is it bad or is it good? Or is it just the clouds that's doing what it's doing? The more we can just give it up instead of running our righteous indignation, which is our thought about what somebody's doing to us or at us, and say, well, I guess you do what you do, and I guess you think what you think, and if we think the same way, that can be real nice, and if we do the same things, that might be better. Because I know husbands and wives that think different things but still can do the same things. He thinks about going to work, she thinks about staying home. Think of different things. But they both raise the family together, and they both instill its values. And I'm not too sure that that's all that sharp, to instill its values. I'm not too sure that I want or would like my mother and father to instill their values in me. Because you see, they're not on the physical planet. And if I buy their values, then guess what? I belong to the dead. And I don't. I belong to the living. Far, far too long, this planet has been controlled by the dead. Far too long. And there's no place for the living except you do it according to someone's will who died. And they reach out from the grave and say, you can't build over there, and you can't drink this, and you can't do this, and you can't do that, because I wrote this piece of paper and signed it, and these other 3 people agreed to it, and you eat it. But I want to grow plants there. No. Isn't it strange? We're living in the fullness of the earth, and we can't do anything with it. Because those other people who lived 2,000 years ago said, we had first claim. You can't live here because it was promised to us. You get out. Who promised it to you? People 2,000 years ago. But they're dead. They can't deliver. And you look at all of this type of, well, I want my children to have my property. Then give it to them before you die so they can do something with it. I want my children to have my money when I'm gone. Give it to them now before you die, and then you don't have to pay all the other extra taxes. Wouldn't it be kind of neat that when somebody died and they didn't give it away before they died, it just went out and somebody bought it and they used it for what they used it for? Could that really work here on this planet? Or must we live the tradition of, looky, this has got a grant deed on it. Nobody can do anything on this property as long as that grant deed's here. And there's a piece of paper laying someplace getting dusty that's running your 400,000 acres. Because somebody says, well, it's there, and they got a little note and a little thing that says, these 400,000 acres can't be used because there's a grant deed saying you can't use it. Piece of paper that deal with thoughts, and the thoughts run the sky. You see, the reason that sky's up there is because that cloud holds them up. Well, a lot of people would like to have you believe that. And the reason those clouds are up there is because the earth is supplying them to keep them up there. And a lot of people would like you to believe that. Except for one thing. Have you ever seen clouds form out there by themselves? Often. Look out in the sky, and way out there you see a little wispy thing. It's a long journey from the earth out there. You ever seen a jet plane fly over and it leaves a contrail, and pretty soon that contrail forms into a cloud, and the cloud gets bigger and bigger? Well, then you say, well, you see, that airplane came from the earth, and the earth's up there, so therefore that's it. And some people buy that type of convoluted thinking and make some sort of a reality out of it. And that type of reality then is placed against you, and you work like the dickens to live it and to make it work, and you give up the space of living in who you are. At some point in this evolution of who we are and what we are and why we are, and by this I mean the earth, I would just guess, and accept that for what it's worth, it's just a guess, that God is going to come down here and destroy all the court records. Because maybe sometimes something you did a long time ago is laying out there against you, and you can't do anything else because that piece of paper with those words are sitting back there, blocking you the divineness of who you are. And it's laying against you. I can see being responsible for what you create and put into the world. Raise a family, take care of a family. If you don't want to take care of it, don't raise it. Don't get involved in it. Don't create it. Stay out of it. You say, well, I didn't mean to raise the family. I didn't want them to get pregnant. Tough, you did, and you handled that. Because that keeps the burden off everyone else. A lot of people are running this thing of irresponsibility. We all should take care of each other. Since we're all doing that, I won't work. But are you doing something that's valuable to the upliftment of everyone? Taking care of these 15 kids, and I got a 16th one on the way. Where's your husband? No husband. Where's the father of these kids? Well, I don't know. Why? Well, there's 15 fathers. Except maybe there's only one. Whatever we are the instrument for creating, whatever the instrument that we're producing, we are that because it has an essence of our beingness in it. And that beingness essence can never be destroyed. Until all that beingness is standing on its own and being what it is, we are bound to it in terms of spiritual law. And once we handle that beingness in ourselves and our children, and we stand them up on their feet and teach them their own independence, to stand within the strength of their own tower, and maybe it is only one story, but stand in it and be in it. And so it isn't as good as your father's who's 13 stories high, but yours is what it is. And be that. Until that happens, we're going to always have the difficulty on this planet. Difficulty is a non-word. We're just going to keep having this thing that we disagree with in terms of our own inner feelings, in terms of our own inner thoughts. And those are all just part of this world. I doubt very much that the sky knows that there's pollution here in the water. I doubt very much if it cares. Except it might be holding up the clouds to put more water down to purify it. Well, didn't really mean to get real philosophical with you. Of course, maybe I wasn't. I guess all you people already thought about all this a long time ago, haven't you? Already resolved it all and have it down working perfectly. But one thing we can do with our thoughts, we can use our thoughts to keep us remembering who we are, that we are living and we are loving, as a remembrance in case we get out there and forget. Because you see, we forget who we are. We can't keep focused 3 seconds on one idea until it splits off. And we start focusing on depression and anxieties and rejections and fears, and we can't even keep focused on them in terms of the thought. But the feelings can hold a long time on it. And the body can just get up real tight and mess us up for hours. And then we wonder, why am I uptight? Oh yeah, I feel bad. Oh yes, I remember now. They hurt my feelings. And so we have this type of funny remembrance pattern in our body. Wouldn't it be nice if the remembrance pattern in our body first started out saying it's relaxed and peaceful and joyful? And then the feeling said, oh, that's really good. And the mind said, Eureka, I'm free. I have freedom at long last. Did you know that this week was declared the week of freedom someplace in this country by some officials? You know, freedom isn't a license to walk through the doors and smack other people or abuse them. Freedom is that to be who you are and what you are and how you are. Until you can get to the essence that you are the sky and that you're all in and among, part of the very essence of all things. And then you don't have to separate it from you. You don't have to play the game of, oh, I want to be that or I want to be that. Because you see, it's just a thought that is wanting, and it's just a feeling that's doing it, and it is the essence of who you are that must be dealt with. At that time when we come to the essence of what is, God will be reigning personally upon the earth as the sky. And guess who is the sky? All of us. It's Berush Bishop.